So, was Jimmy SHEA's vision of glory realized? The answer in one word: gold. We can't show you the pictures yet, but we must tell you the story. And that begins with Kevin Nathan live on Main Street in Park City, Utah. What a day, Kev.
Jerry, 11 years in the TV business. This is the #1 sports moment for me, better than UConn Duke. It came down to Jimmy SHEA's final run today, and by 5/100ths of a second, he won the gold. I'm joined now by two guys who've known him for years. Robert O'Meara from West Hartford, Greg too from West Hartford. You guys played high school sports with Jimmy. You got a whole contingent from Connor, 12 of you who came out here. Tell me your reaction when you found out Jimmy had won the gold medal.
Well, we were right there. I mean, we were right by the finish, and we had probably about 15 to 20 plus his family, and honestly, it was just fist pumps and wow for a good 30 minutes.
And people chanting, U.S. SHEA.
U.S. SHEA, that's it, all the way. Jim came out here, put his game face on, and we all had faith. You know, a lot of us came out here to see Jim win a gold medal. Jim won the gold medal.
We're looking now at some video of the Go Jimmy SHEA folks who are inside the hangar here about 100 yards from us, beginning the party, which Jimmy will be at later on tonight after he gets his gold medal. You played high school lacrosse with Jimmy. He was always a competitor.
Unbelievable. I don't know when he started playing lacrosse, but he was our goalie. I was a defenseman, so we were tight like that. And, I mean, he was a gamer. He was the fiercest competitor you could come across, and he just had one of those wills where no one was going to beat him.
Hockey, the same thing. You guys called him crazy legs because he'd never stop churning those legs.
Jimmy, since he's ever been playing sports, he's always been quick, fast. He's got one of the fastest pushes in the world for skeleton. Crazy legs, that pretty much sums it up. He like Rob said, he's a competitor, he's got a game face, and he did it today.
He had a game face today, that's for sure.
You guys weren't sure you were going to come out here. Then you finally said, wait a second, our guy might win a gold medal.
Well, it was like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and we were talking about it and how great it is that he's going, and he was getting all this press. And then we're like, what are we thinking? One of our good buddies is going to compete for the gold, and he's probably going to win it. Let's get out there. And we rallied up people from all across the country. We got 12 guys staying in a 2-bedroom. And it's kind of packed, but unbelievable.
And I'm sure you're getting a lot of sleep. Greg, tell me, when Jack SHEA, Jimmy's grandfather, passed away about 5-6 weeks ago, at that moment, you guys said, Jimmy's winning this thing.
That's exactly right. In fact, when the phone calls went around that Jimmy's grandfather passed away, I had a conversation with Rob on the phone, and we both agreed that Jimmy's this is the kick that he needs to motivate him to actually go out there and win that gold. It's unfortunate that his grandfather wasn't here to see him, but he was there in spirit, and you know,
gave him that push at the end.
Guys, thanks for coming on. Bring all the other Connor guys in here as we wrap this thing up. We've got 12 guys from Connor here, all psyched up. We should also mention, Jerry, as we throw this back, that not only did Jimmy SHEA carry a picture of his late grandfather, Jack, today, Jimmy also carried a funeral card from the late Paul Haggerty, who went to high school with these guys, and it really sums up the kind of person that Jimmy SHEA is. He not only remembered his grandfather today, but his late friend, Paul Haggerty from West Hartford. That's the story live from Park City, Utah, where the Connor boys are psyched. Jimmy SHEA has a gold medal. Let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
They are having fun, Kev. Well, now, you know.
His grandfather just before the games. So, did he win? Kevin Nathan has been following SHEA all the way. He's live on Main Street in Park City, Utah with the answer. Kevin.
The answer, Jerry, is this. Just as his grandfather, Jack SHEA, did 70 years ago, Jimmy SHEA Jr. is a gold medalist. On the final run of skeleton today, Jimmy SHEA ran the race of his life, and by 5/100ths of a second, he captured the gold medal. Incredible. Unfortunately, because of IOC rules, we can't bring you those highlights until tonight's 11:30 newscast, but let me tell you, I was there. It was the most spectacular sporting event I've ever seen, and I'm sure Jim SHEA Sr. would agree, as would Judy SHEA. Your reaction?
Well, it was such a special day for our family. First of all, for Jimmy to make the Olympic team. But then today, we had an idea that Jimmy would be a contender. But for him to come up and be on top of the world and to win the Olympics, it's just beyond our dreams and our imagination. We feel so blessed, believe me.
It wasn't enough just to be a third-generation Olympian. He had to go out and win the gold.
You have to earn it. Each medal you have to earn.
Can you put into words how proud you are?
No. We're proud.
I mean, he sacrificed so much. As the story goes, he ate hot dogs, slept in bobsleds over in Europe to pursue his dream. You were an Olympian in 1964. It's got to mean the world.
It does mean the world to us. We're so proud of Jimmy because Jimmy basically came from nothing. He pioneered the visibility of this sport in the United States. He lobbied Mitt Romney to get it into the games, and because of that, Jimmy has won so much respect from his peers in Europe, and you know, there's so many good, positive things happening to Jimmy and the SHEA family now. We've had a roller coaster over the last few weeks.
No question. I mean, Jimmy was carrying a picture of your father, Jack, today with him. Must be emotional.
It is, and you know, we hold together as best we can, but sometimes you know, tears come, and that's just the way it is.
But Jimmy was really the tough one through all this adversity.
He's become a good spokesman for himself, for the skeleton, the sport, and for the nation and the Olympic movement. And that seems to be recognized but around the world now. But being a good spokesman has been wonderful to see him emerge in that.
We have about 30 friends and family from Connecticut back here over at the hangar. We have some video of that. The party just starting. The big chant here today, U.S. SHEA.
That's right, U.S. SHEA, U.S. SHEA. And a sports writer in Lake Placid put that in the headline after Jimmy made the Olympic team. We thought that was pretty neat. So Judy commandeered some of our supporters to make all kinds of signs for that, and it's just been a spectacular, unbelievable experience for all of us, believe me.
Mr. and Mrs. SHEA, congratulations. God bless you. This is one of the greatest Olympic stories of all time, certainly for Connecticut, but for all the games.
To all our friends in Hartford and the Connecticut area, we want to just tell you how much we appreciate all your kind thoughts and good wishes.
Thanks again. Have a safe trip. And that's going to wrap it up from Park City, Utah for now. We'll have much more coming up later in sports. Jimmy SHEA, a gold medalist, just like his grandfather 70 years ago. The first third-generation Olympian taking home the gold. That's the story live from Park City. Jerry, Joanne, back to you.
Thank you, Kev. Very proud parents, and their thanks are conveyed. Jimmy SHEA.
I'm Kevin Nathan, back live in Park City, Utah, where the buzz in town here is Jimmy SHEA. He won the gold medal today in the skeleton by 5/100ths of a second. And his friends and family from Conard High School and all over the country now excited. What does this mean? Your buddy from high school is a gold medalist.
Unbelievable. You could never even imagine. I mean, I'm so excited, I can't imagine how he feels. I'm about to blow up.
One of your good friends in high school, Paul Haggerty, passed away. Not only did Jimmy have a picture of his late grandfather, Jack, today, Greg, but he also had Paul Haggerty's funeral card. It says a lot about Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good kid. He's got a great heart. He's a winner, and he always you know, carried a picture of Hags with him, and we all like to think that had something to do with his gold medal.
Now, this isn't a day to bash Jimmy SHEA. This is a day to celebrate. But one disclaimer. He claims to have laid the great Brian Leach out in high school at Cheshire. Did that happen? This is hockey now.
I'm not at liberty to comment on that right now. We're not going to say anything about that. I'm not sure. Wasn't there if it happened.
He's in town, man.
Did you guys ever have any doubt? I mean, was Jimmy SHEA the kind of competitor in high school where you could see this kind of thing happening someday?
Well, I think you saw it after his first run, and you just take a look up, and he was just so jacked up, you know, you knew that he was going to do it. So absolutely, yeah, he's the type of guy that just gets it always done.
And the chants, U.S. SHEA.
U.S. SHEA, U.S. SHEA. Go Pie Go. That's right. Yeah.
The question is, Jimmy SHEA receives his medal at 10:41 tonight. My question is, will all these guys still be standing tonight when Jimmy gets to Park City, Utah? Jimmy SHEA's story will have much more on it tonight at 11:30. For now, I'm Kevin Nathan reporting live from Park City, Utah. Let's go to Lou Holder, live at Gamble Pavilion with the Yukon Women's Senior Night. Lou.
Visions of glory. NBC 30's Kevin Nathan live in Salt Lake City tonight with a story that Jimmy SHEA himself would tell you is about so much more than medals. Kev.
Just a short time ago, just a short walk from here, Jimmy Shea received his gold medal. A storybook ending to one of the most inspirational and inspiring, emotional Olympic stories ever told. Jimmy Shea lost his grandfather, but he proved today he never lost his desire to compete. And somewhere tonight, his grandfather must be smiling. Jimmy Shea slid headfirst into the stuff of Olympic legend today.
Just 1/100th of a second.
The first third-generation Olympian from West Hartford won the skeleton on the final run of the day by a mere 5/100ths of a second.
He's done it. Gold medal, USA.
You know, the gold medal is not that important. I mean, it's going to be great to get up there, and it's going to be great to have. But, hey!
Can you imagine that?
No, for Jimmy Shea, it's all about family. He hugged his father, a 1964 Olympian. But Jimmy's late grandfather, a double gold medalist in 1932, couldn't be there. Jack Shea died last month from a car accident, but his picture was inside Jimmy's helmet, and his spirit was inside Jimmy's heart.
The Chief was with me all the way along, man, right in my helmet, buddy, I tell you. He was right there, and he was fast today.
It's going to come down to this final straightaway and finish curve.
I am so proud, and his grandfather would be so happy. Man.
Is this the ultimate as a father?
Yeah. There's no question about it. No question about it. And, just a special time, and you know, especially for a track that has not been kind to Jimmy, and you know, he put it together, and his grandfather was pushing him, gave him that little extra edge, and that's what did it today.
Your grandfather was with you today, wasn't he?
Absolutely, you know, he was. But, you know, so was all my cousins, so was my family, my mother, and everybody else, you know. I mean, Mom, she blew over 4 security FBI guys to get to me at the bottom. Plowed right over them. Hopped the fence, crossed the track, and she tackled me. You know, she's very excited, and I'm just so proud of everybody for coming up and helping me out.
Also helping Jimmy Shea, lessons he learned playing hockey and lacrosse at Conard High School. He says those lessons carried him to the gold today.
You got to be just absolutely fearless, and that's what I was. I wasn't afraid of anything. And then I also, you know, with Dono, I just stuck to the basics, point to point to point. I know exactly where I had to be, so I just concentrated on one thing at a time. And I was fortunate enough to win the gold medal for the glory of the United States, and I'm really excited.
Jimmy is strong. He perseveres. You know, when Dad died, he was so much tougher than the rest of us because he knew what his grandfather's mission for him would have been, and he accomplished the mission.
I definitely felt him here today. I definitely felt him at the opening ceremonies. And, you know, he's around. He has a lot of friends here, and I think he had some unfinished business before he went up to heaven, and I think now he can go.
Amidst the snow in Park City today, not a dry eye on the side of the mountain. 30 of Jim Shea's friends and family on hand chanting U.S. Shea. Also 12 of his buddies from Conard High School. 54 years ago, skeleton was an Olympic sport. It's back in the Olympics for the first time in 54 years. And Shea is back on the podium for the first time in 70 years. Reporting live from the Winter Games in Salt Lake City, Kevin Nathan, NBC 30 Sports. Joanne, back to you.
With a nice exclamation point. Thanks, Kev. Now, not all...
Now let's head over to Salt Lake City, where Kevin Nathan has more on the Winter Olympics. Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Lou. From tears to cheers, Jimmy Shea's story is the stuff of a Hollywood movie script, complete with drama, emotion, and triumph for the human spirit. And like any feel-good movie, the hero rides off into the sunset, except in Jimmy Shea's case, he's got a gold medal right around his neck. Shea had a great first run in the skeleton finals, but still trailed in the standings going into the last one. But Shea somehow makes up some time during the final stages of his second run and wins the gold medal in dramatic fashion by just 5/100ths of a second. His father, Jim Sr., a 64 Olympian, couldn't be any prouder.
And there's his dad.
And I've told people all week, and people talk medals, 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 and medals are great, and they do wonderful things for our program and the Olympic Committee. But being here, you know, being at the Olympics, that is so special. So few people get to do that. And We're living a dream right now.
Jimmy Shea's story, obviously the dominant one out here, but another Connecticut skeleton rider was also a medal favorite. Trumbull's Chris Soule expected to go home with some hardware, but instead will head back to Connecticut with just some great memories. Soule had a decent first run, good second one, finished 7th overall in today's finals. What was it like competing in front of all these fans today?
Oh, it's amazing, man. Everyone is just so pumped up, and a lot of supporters came out from Connecticut, New York, and California. I had people from all over the states, and you know, it's just phenomenal to have all these people around.
Another Connecticut guy who's absolutely ecstatic about these Olympics and this medal win is Jim Roney from Orange, Connecticut. Roney is a trainer for the U.S. Olympians, including gold medalist Jimmy Shea and the U.S. women's bobsled gold medalist from yesterday. Roney has been waiting a long time to fulfill his Olympic dream. 10 years ago, you had this Olympic dream. You made it here as one of the trainers, and now you've got a gold medal in women's bobsledding, and now Jimmy Shea.
I've been chasing it for 10 years. I called my wife last night. I was teary-eyed. I said, honey, it's a dream come true. You know, it's next best thing to being an athlete is being able to help an athlete. It was just, couldn't write a better script.
John Leclerc could have used Jim Roney. That's his tooth in his hand. It was knocked out in the first period. Men's hockey, U.S. and Germany in the first. Jeremy Roenick with the one-timer, U.S. up 1-0. Go to the second period. Tony Amante playing give and go with Roenick. Nice feed, nice pass, nice goal. U.S. jumps out to a 3-0 lead. Then in the third, the prettiest goal of the games. Check this out. Brett Hull on the rebound. Between his legs, you got to be kidding me. U.S. wins 5-0. Go play Russia on Friday. 22 years to the day after beating them in the Miracle on Ice game back in 1980. Congratulations to Jimmy Shea. He once lived on hot dogs and slept in bobsleds to pursue his Olympic dream. And tonight, the pride of West Hartford is a gold medalist in the skeleton. Reporting live from the Winter Games in Salt Lake City, I'm Kevin Nathan. Jerry Joanne, back to you.
All right. And thank your guest over your right shoulder with those really ugly green gloves. Thanks, Kev.
Kev, enjoy the game. Next for West Hartford native Jimmy Shea, does he go Hollywood or back to his hometown of Lake Placid? Kevin Nathan spent a long night with Shea and his family, but he is now awake, alert, and alive in Park City with the man himself, Jimmy Shea. Kev.
Thanks, Joanne, with the man of the hour here in Park City, Utah. Jerry and Joanne want to know, did you get any sleep since you won the gold medal?
I got about an hour last night.
Yeah, it was a good time last night. Thanks for having me out there.
I'm glad you could come. It was a fun party. You know, all the guys from West Hartford were, you know, raising the roof, you know, and having a good time.
Tell me what it was like when they played the national anthem last night and they gave you the gold medal. Is that kind of when it all sunk in?
It was absolutely amazing. I was pumped, man. You know, I was just very, very excited and couldn't believe it. And it was a life-altering experience. Unbelievable.
We got to see firsthand. You kind of take a hockey player's mentality, not surprisingly, since you played the sport in high school, to skeleton. I mean, you like to get really fired up, almost angry before you compete.
Absolutely. If you look at me, I really want to rip somebody's head off. There's a lot of anger and the explosion to start as fast as I can. And you know, I have a bad leg, and I really needed to get a start. And I was able to squeak enough out, just enough as I needed.
How has this changed your life?
I hope it doesn't change it too much. You know, it's not the Olympics. Now that I have a gold medal, I can honestly say, you know, it's not about winning the gold medals. It's about the friendships. It's about competing. It's about taking part. It's about humanity. You know, and the Olympics are very important. It brings the world together in a peaceful, friendly competition. And I'm just very happy to be representing my country and to be able to take part.
But it is different than when your grandfather won 2 gold medals in 1932. Back then, there were no endorsement opportunities. Let's face it, I mean, there are going to be opportunities for you to cash this in. I know that's not what it's all about. You're a true amateur. But what sort of things lie in the works? Anything from movies to commercials?
I don't know yet. I'm just, you know, the Olympics are still going on. I'm still in the Olympic Village. I'm still having a good time. Still meeting everybody from around the world. And I'm going to worry about that stuff later.
Let's bring Dad in here, Jim Shea Sr. My question to you is, I mean, this is 2 parts of 3 generations of Olympians. Jack Shea was a speed skater. You were a skier. Jimmy skeleton. I know there's no wife or kids yet, but what about the 4th generation? Do we have a sport picked out?
I got to get the girl first.
I don't think you have any problems with that thing hanging around your neck. What do you think for a sport?
What do I think for this sport, or the fourth generation? Fourth generation, it's coming. But, you know, just to have 3 generations, it's so special for all of us. We're so proud of Jimmy, and, you know, his community of Lake Placid, New York is so proud of him, and Jimmy has become part of the Park City community, too. He has so many supporters out here, and, you know, it makes my heart soar like an eagle, believe me.
I think everybody in the United States would like to claim you at this point. We have about 20 seconds to go. That jingle is everywhere out there. Dun, 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 dun. I got to hear it. You got it? You got it down, Jimmy? Come on, I know you got it down.
Who's calling Jimmy? You know, it's a great commercial. I just want to say hi to my grandmother, Butler. Nana, I love you, and I can't wait to come down to West Hartford and see you.
Congratulations. Let me touch that thing one more time. £1.25 pound, silver plated with gold. Jimmy Shea, gold medalist in skeleton, as clutch as it gets, winning the gold by 5/100ths of a second yesterday on his final run of the day. Congratulations, sir.
Raising the roof here in Park City, man. Raising the roof.
You made everybody in Connecticut very proud. That's going to wrap it up live from Park City. We'll have more on figure skating and a preview of the women's ice hockey game coming up later in sports. There she is.
Dating should be no problem. Thanks, Kev. And Kevin, we'll have much more ahead from Park
tonight by a 3-2 score. American Visions of Glory turned to silver. Kevin Nathan live in Salt Lake City with the story. Another huge night there, Kev.
No doubt, Jerry. You know, I wish I could say there was a silver lining to this story, but the U.S. women's hockey team not only wanted the gold, they expected it. And why not? They'd won 35 straight games, including 8 in a row, over Team Canada, so nothing short of the gold was going to please this U.S. women's hockey team. The Canadians had the great one on their side, Wayne Gretzky. Just 1 minute and 45 seconds into the game, Canada gets on the board. It's Carolyn Ouellette in front. She punches it home. 1-0 Team Canada. But the U.S. strikes back in the second. Katie King redirects a shot top shelf, and we're tied at 1 apiece. But Team Canada scores twice more in the second. This is Jana Hefford scoring with only 1 second left in the period. Sarah DaCosta, the U.S. goalie from Rhode Island, can't believe it. It's 3-1 Canada. We go to the third. Team USA rallying late. Karen Bai slaps one home with just over 3 minutes left. The lead down to 1. Could it be? No. It was too little too late for the Americans. Time runs out. Canada is your gold medalist for 2002. For New Canaan, Connecticut's A.J. Malesko and company, heartbreak.
It's tough when we've had an amazing season and then bounces weren't going our way tonight. And that's the way it goes. It's tough when you have to lose a game to win an Olympic gold medal, a silver medal.
That's the way hockey goes sometimes. It's obviously disappointing. Wanted to finish our season and some of our careers out with a gold, but you know, what can you do sometimes?
I think for any athlete, it's disappointing when you set your sights that high and walk away with the silver. But we have to be proud of that.
I'm so proud of the team, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of it, and I hope we made people proud.
The U.S. women's hockey team, particularly the Connecticut players, really handled this loss with grace and class, but we should note 8 of the players on the U.S. team battling the flu. We'll have more on that part of the story coming up later in sports. Reporting live from Salt Lake City at the Winter Games, I'm Kevin Nathan. Joanne, back to you.
All right, Kev, their faces tell. Sounds like a good bet.
Well, Russian coach Slava Fetisov complained about the officiating tonight, saying that the results against the Americans were predetermined. Yeah, Coach, just like they were in 1980. 22 years after the Miracle on Ice, the U.S. faced off against the Russians again in front of a charged-up crowd at the East Center. And this time it was the Americans trying to stave off a miracle comeback. Cheshire's Brian Leach and the defense stellar early on. That allowed the U.S. to rush the net. In the first period on the power play, Billy Guerin gets the rebound past Nikolai Habibulin. It's 1-0 U.S. and the crowd going nuts. Second period now. They pepper Holly Bullen some more. This time, it's Scott Young on the power play rebound. 2-0 U.S. Not long after that, guess what? Another power play, another rebound goal. Phil Housley, the ageless wonder, scores. The state's up 3-0 going into the third. But Russia comes out firing in the third with 2 goals in the first 4 minutes. This is Vladimir Malakoff. Suddenly it's 3-2, but the U.S. hangs on barely. Mike Richter with some great saves and help from the crossbar. No miracle comeback for Russia. 3-2 U.S. your final, and it's on to Sunday's gold medal match against Team Canada.
Oh, it's a great feeling. Knowing you're going into and medal around for the gold or silver against Canada. It's a great, it's a great feeling. We've worked hard. One game could have either disappointment or put us on a big high like we just are now.
Well, we knew they were going to come out hard. We didn't expect them to come out that hard. They really put an onslaught on, and they're talented players. I mean, really stepped it up and gave us a good scare, but that's the way it should have been.
But this is something, it's a chance in a lifetime. What a great feeling it was after the game, a sigh of relief, because you have to give them credit. They came out hard, they didn't quit.
Let me tell you something, the people who got to watch our 2 games against the Russians got treated to some of the best hockey I think ever played.
No doubt. So the U.S. will be facing Wayne Gretzky's Canada squad for the gold medal Sunday. The Canadians advanced to the final today by ripping through Belarus 7-1. For the men, it's a chance to avenge the women's gold medal loss to Team Canada yesterday. For slalom skier Chip Knight from New Canaan, the gold medal may be out of reach tomorrow. His best World Cup finish this year is 17th, but he's still reaching for the top in slalom.
Realistically, if I had a top 15 or a top 10 result, I'm going to be really excited. And I'm shooting to ski my best race in the Olympics, and in the slalom. I want to be in that podium more than anyone, But I've got to think about what it's going to take for me to ski my best race.
So Chip Knight in the slalom tomorrow. Some other scores from tonight. Central beats St. Francis in college basketball, 80-59. Albany squeaks past University of Hartford, 51-48. Quinnipiac blasts Robert Morris, 93-73. Red Hot Yale loses to Princeton, 59-46. The Wolfpack beat Quebec 4-1. Once again, the Russian coach Slava Fetisov saying that he thought the referees predetermined this thing, that everyone wants a North American final between the U.S. and Canada. Look, Coach, ridiculous. You still got to score on Mike Richter, and the Russians couldn't get the job done, and it'll be the U.S. and Team Canada on Sunday for the gold medal as the U.S. tries to wrap up its most successful Winter Olympics ever. Reporting live in Salt Lake City at the Winter Games, I'm Kevin Nathan. Jerry Joanne, back to you.
Well, they may want to look back to the 1972 Olympic basketball finals and see what they think.
No doubt.
That's right.
Thank you, Kev.
Bring on the Germans. The U.S. men's hockey team blows out Belarus today, 8-1, and finishes as the top seed. They'll take on Germany in the quarterfinals, looking for that gold medal on Wednesday. All right, just 20 seconds into the game against Belarus today as you take a look at Trumbull's Chris Drury and Team USA. Andrew Rusako for Belarus past Tommy Barrasso. Herb Brooks squad down 1-0 after 1, but it wouldn't last. Second period, Brett Hull, the killer slap shot. Hull and the U.S. on the board, and that starts an avalanche of goals for the U.S. Third period, Mike York, once of the Hartford Wolfpack, feeds a cutting Scott Young in front. Young, 2 goals today. The U.S. a 4-1 lead. Then it's Billy Guerin. This guy's had a monster tournament. Guerin pokes home his second goal of the game. The U.S. scores 8 unanswered goals. They beat up on Belarus 8-1 and get a top seed in the medal round. Afterwards, I caught up with Trumbull's Chris Drury and asked him about his Olympic experience.
What's it like when you put on that USA jersey?
Oh, it's very special. Anytime you put on your jersey, represent your country, no matter what it is, it's a huge honor. And definitely is, just to be here.
What's it been like having your folks here and a lot of friends and family to support you?
Well, it's great. It's very convenient that it's in America and not too far from Connecticut. And, lucky to have them here.
You guys have seemed to really come together. A lot of camaraderie here in such a short time. How have you been able to do that?
Well, I think a lot of these guys have played together before. They kind of brought the new guys in. Everyone's getting along great. Hopefully we can keep on winning.
The U.S. women's hockey team plays in the semifinals tomorrow against Sweden. Should be another W for the women. In college football, head coach Darren Rizzi of the University of New Haven is leaving to take the running backs and special teams job at Rutgers. We're going to miss you, Riz. NFL news, John Gruden, the new coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gruden gets a 5-year deal. Tampa will give the Raiders compensation to get Gruden out of the last year of his contract. Now I'm joined by Doug and Bridget Adams of Farmington. Couple of fans out here. Doug's brother lives out here in Salt Lake City. I've had a chance to watch everything from Nordic to aerials to luge, but you say the best part has been just the camaraderie you've seen between the athletes, Bridget.
That's right. It's like the camaraderie between the international athletes, everyone cheering for everyone and just having a great time.
Doug?
I stood among fans from Belarus, Canada, Switzerland, Sweden, Germany. We all rooted for everybody.
was terrific.
Who's your favorite Connecticut athlete at the games?
Jimmy Shea.
Absolutely. Jimmy.
Do you have that Jimmy jingle down yet? Or?
No, not quite.
Working on it, though?
Working on it, working.
A son's passion stirs a father's Olympic pride. Hi, everybody.
Granby's Jeff Greenwood may not have a snowboarding medal tonight, but his family does have a lesson for all athletes.
No matter how you finish, nothing can tarnish those visions of glory. NBC 30's Kevin Nathan live in Salt Lake City tonight with the family's emotional story. Hi, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. Jeff Greenwood needed to finish in the top 16 out of 32 today in the parallel giant slalom snowboarding to make the finals. It didn't happen. But for Jeff and his family, it's not where you finish at the Olympics, it's the journey getting here. There will be no Wheaties covers for Jeff Greenwood, but no regrets either. He missed qualifying in parallel giant slalom snowboarding today by the slimmest of margins, just 35/100ths of a second. But to the Greenwood family, their sun shined bright. Mom and Dad, you must be pretty proud today.
Oh, we're very, very proud. Probably the happiest day of my life. And for Jeff to be here and represent the United States is, I think it just hit me. And he's the greatest, man. We love you very much, man. Congratulations. All right.
Seeing how much this means to your family, it kind of puts the race in perspective.
Yeah, it's good. You know, it takes my mind off not doing so well today, so I can just happy. I haven't seen my uncle in 10 years, and he's here. It's good to see him. He's a good guy.
In all, 9 of Jeff's friends and family traveled to Park City to watch him compete in his first Olympics. Never been this proud, I bet.
No, I'm just happy that he's here.
It's not where you finish, it's just getting out here.
Absolutely, no. Finishing is not everything. It's being here at the Olympics and representing the United States.
Ken Greenwood knows firsthand what it means to represent the U.S. He served in Vietnam. Mr. Greenwood, you served our country. Does it mean a little more to have a son representing the U.S. in the Olympics?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, it's just, this is America, and it's the greatest place in the world to live, and I'm just so proud of him, really.
Jeff finished 20th today, but he's first in the hearts of a lot of people back in Connecticut tonight. I'll tell you, talking to his family had me choked up today. They really understand what these Olympics are all about. It's about representing your country and competing, not always about winning a gold medal. We'll have much more on Jeff Greenwood's Olympic quest today, coming up later in sports. For now, I'm Kevin Nathan reporting live from Salt Lake City at the Winter Games. Jerry Joanne, back to you.
All right, Kev, thanks. And a little bit later on in this half hour, we'll meet Jeff Greenwood's Granby cheering section. Stephanie Cruz watched him live out his Olympic dreams with some of his biggest fans. Later on in sports, some of the...
Shut out Sweden, and that means their visions of glory will pit them against Canada in the gold medal game. NBC 30's Kevin Nathan live in Salt Lake City with the story. Those were fighting words, weren't they, Kev? A bloodbath?
Wow, Jerry, reminding me of the old Whaler days. Yeah, how sweet it is. The U.S. women shut out Sweden tonight, 4-0. Now it's on to the finals, the gold medal game Thursday against Team Canada. More and more of these U.S. women hockey players reminding me of the Yukon women, poised and polite off the ice, tenacious and talented on it. 15 of Julie Chu's family and friends on hand. More on that in a moment. First period, Katie King on the breakaway. Sneaks one past Sweden's 15-year-old goalie, Kim Martin, 2-0 U.S. Second period, the captain, Cami Granato. Right place, right time. Granato's second goal of the game. The U.S. a little more of a game than expected from Team Sweden, but they still win 4-0. Now it's on to the gold medal game versus Canada. Summers from Greenwich can't wait to play the Canadians, who the U.S. has beaten 8 times in a row. And how would you describe this rivalry with Canada? Is it a friendly rivalry or?
No. Well, you know, no. It's a bloodbath every time we play each other. And the fact that we've beaten them 8 times this year, it's made it even more ugly because they're just getting more and more frustrated. And that's understandable.
fighting words. Now, there's also no shortage of U.S. fan support here, especially for Fairfield's Julie Chu. 27 of her friends and family will be in Salt Lake by Thursday. I caught up with 15 of them this morning, enough Chus to make a human choo-choo train.
USA! USA! USA!
We've been through so many years of tournament. We said, oh, just another tournament. But once you come here, the Olympic spirit is something very, very special.
I didn't have a brother, so I kind of just grabbed both my sisters, stuck them in net, and started firing pucks at their heads, you know?
Julie must not have liked that.
Not until she started firing them back at me.
Now as she's firing those shots at Sweden's goaltenders and Canada on Thursday. The Chus are running 2 condos in Salt Lake, and believe it or not, all 27 family and friends will have tickets and be at the game Thursday against Team Canada as the U.S. goes for its 2nd straight gold medal at the Olympics. That's the story for now. Live from Salt Lake City, I'm Kevin Nathan. Back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Kev, thanks. And a little bump tonight in the road to an Olympic.
On the mind of Mr. Nathan tonight, the Frozen One joins us from Salt Lake City to tell us how the women's hockey team and our skeleton hopeful fared today. Kev!
Thank you, Lou. As a sign of unity, every player on the U.S. women's hockey team is wearing the same necklace. Soon that necklace may have a gold medal on the end of it. After their win over Sweden tonight, the U.S. now just 1 win away from their 2nd straight gold medal. They'll take on Team Canada in the finals on Thursday. First period against Sweden tonight, as you look at former Yale coach Ben Smith and the U.S. taking on Sweden, it's Cami Granato. Check this out. Rebound, pokes it home from her knees. As Fred Nutter would say, you can't teach that. Great goal. It's 1-0 U.S. Still in the first, Katie King breaks out. Slips one past 15-year-old goaltender Kim Martin. It's 2-0 U.S. Then in the second, Captain Cami in front. Taps in her 2nd goal of the game, and the rout is on. Third period now. Some sweet passing from the U.S. Natalie Darwitz, the 18-year-old high schooler, finishes. That's her 7th goal. She's having a monster tournament. The U.S. wins it 4-0. Next up, Team Canada for the gold medal.
We had, a great season last year, but we didn't finish off in the finals, and Canada beat us in the finals. So this year we've been preparing, and mentally we're there, physically there, and I think we're ready.
Every game we played this year against them has been real close, maybe except for one. So absolutely, we have respect for them. They have respect for us, but that doesn't mean it's going to be pretty on the ice. It's going to be a pretty rough game. I'm certain of it.
Hey, congratulations to U.S. women's bobsled trainer Jim Roney from Orange, Connecticut. His U.S. women's bobsledders, Jill Bakken and Vanetta Flowers, take home the gold today. And 5'4" Derek Parra, the speed skater, proving that it's the size of your heart that matters. Parra wins the gold medal in the men's 1,500-meter speed skating. And it looks like our skeleton riders from Connecticut are ready to go for the gold tomorrow. In practice time trials today, Chris Soule from Trumbull finished 3rd in 1 run, and Jimmy Shea from West Hartford 2nd. Of course, today was only practice. Tomorrow, Chris and Jimmy go for the gold. And the atmosphere couldn't be any better for Jimmy Shea.
Skeleton has turned into one of the hottest tickets to the games. Sold right out. They moved us to prime time. So we're prime time, baby. We're rocking and rolling. There's 16,000 people out here screaming and yelling, and we're excited, man. We're excited to do well. We're excited to have fun.
Jimmy and Chris expect a lot of friends and family back from Connecticut. We'll try to catch up with them tomorrow and bring you all the excitement of the skeleton tomorrow night, beginning live at 5. Reporting live from Salt Lake City at the Winter Games, I'm Kevin Nathan. Lou, back to you.